Hello everyone, welcome back to another Chart With Me video, and today we are going to be talking about gold. And let me just go ahead and pull up the chart from last time. Let me see. Okay, great. So pretty much there were a lot of moves happening here inside of gold today. I actually tried to take a move or take a trade today right here on the strong bullish engulfing candle. It worked out for about 30-40 pips and then continued the trend. So when it comes to bounce trends, those are typically a little bit more risky. So thankfully on this position, I did lower my risk a whole lot. Didn't affect my profits from the week. So still up on gold for the week. So yay for that. And I did take two other trades and earlier this week. So one yesterday and then I want to say one 2 days before that. And both of those trades were profitable. So just risk a little bit of those profits in order to take this potential bounce trade, especially since price was kind of consolidating here and it was making shorter down moves. So this is a really big one. And then here's a one that is shorter than this one. And then of course this happens afterwards. But after this one didn't work out, I was looking for a continuation. And then I was like, okay, well, why am I trying to look for a continuation on a Friday afternoon? Let me just close the markets and then see what next week has to offer. So that is what I did. So anyway, so let's go ahead and look at the weekly time frame. And then if I'm looking up here, I do have two screens. I'm in the second office inside of my house, and we are also moving, so there's chaos everywhere, and this is the only room that still has almost everything in it. So anyway, so let's go ahead. Oh, you can see kind of my game plan for another trade. Actually, I did take four trades, and this one was the break-even one. Two were profitable. The one that I took today was not profitable. Forgot about that. Okay, anyway, so let's go ahead and remove indicators. And we don't have any indicators, haha. Remove drawings, and then let's go ahead and start on the weekly time frame like we always do. And then let me go ahead and make this bigger. There we go. All right, so if we look at the weekly time frame, let me move this over. If we look at the weekly time frame, we see that this is the third week. Actually, let me get rid of all of these. This is the third week in a row where we closed bearish. And one thing to note, or one thing that I talked about last week, was this bearish candle right here where I said that the momentum is decreasing. So that means that there is a possibility, not necessarily a high possibility or probability, but a possibility that this particular candle right here could signal that if price trades above this 36.64 level, or actually 26, or gosh, can't even talk today, 23.64 level, then there's a possibility for price to continue push up, and basically you see right here where price did go up above this level, and it didn't work out though. We ended up closing this week again bearish. And then one thing to really notice that we closed below this support level on the weekly time frame. So next week I'm definitely looking for nothing but sells. Today I was possibly trying to catch a bounce because I did see some things inside of the market that made me believe that price could potentially reverse from there. And as I talked about in another video, when it comes to bounce trades, those typically don't work out for me, although sometimes they do, and that's based on the journaling and the things that I've done in the past to keep track of it. However, today was pretty much proof that for me, I need to continue with continuation trades and not really look at bounce trades at all. But it's fun to try it with a small amount just to see if there are things that you can tweak. That's how you learn. But basically, this weekly time frame, the way this closed, this lets me know that there's a higher possibility for price to correct this entire move. And if we look at where price closed, it closed below 2,300, and this entire area right here, actually, let's just go ahead and measure it. So let's get rid of that. Let's use the price tool right here. And then let's just see how many pips this is. So if we go, wow, this is insane. Okay, yeah, so this is a lot of pips here. Let me go write that. Okay, yeah, so that is 240 right there. So this, if you just add a zero, to the end of this number right here, you actually get 1,390 pips, which is insane. So even if you had a 0.001 lot and you just let it roll, that's going to be, a nice little chunk of money. I don't know exactly. I don't want to do math here and mess this up, but anyway, so this is what I'm seeing on the weekly time frame, and then let's go ahead and go to the daily time frame so that way we can see if there's some more information. So one thing I am seeing right here is that price came all the way up here. This was in the past, of course, came down, and then this week we ended just like this with this really, really strong bearish engulfing candle. And part of this was due to the London session. If you go back and look, then you will see on a smaller time frame, like the hour time frame, you will see in the London session there was a huge sell-off, some consolidation, and then it sold off more in the New York session. Especially we had NFP this month, or at least for this month today as well. So that was another thing that pushed price further negative, at least in the gold market. So let's go ahead and mark off some levels here. So right now off the bat, I do see this resistance level right here around 2378. And then I'm going to copy and paste. And then I'm going to draw this other level right here around 2325. This is a nice psychological level, and I'm going to keep this super thin because when I go down to lower time frames, it's going to look really big. So I really like this level, mainly because we have a support here, and then we have all of this consolidation here, basically formed two really strong supports, and then this additional one from the past, price broke this level, and continue to trade much lower. So that is going to be a really, really strong level right there. So let's go ahead and copy this level again because I do see another level that I do want to mark off. And I believe I had this marked off last week as well, but right now we're at 2286 is where we're going to draw out this level. And that's mainly because we have kind of the same story as before. We had this really strong support level right here. We have these rejections, and then we have price today, because we're on a daily time frame, today closing essentially right at this level. So this lets me know that this is a strong level as well. And then let's go ahead and plan for the upside, just on the off chance that price reverses completely and go all the way up to this level. So this level is at 2428 kind of level, and I'm going to extend this out a little bit. And for the daily time frame, I think this looks really, really good, at least considering all of the consolidation that we see in this particular market right here. So let's go down and go to H4. All right, so now you can see a lot more detail on the H4. So I'm going to adjust this top level right here and have it sit right at 2430. That looks good to me. We are going to put another level up here. Actually, we can do it right now since we see it. So right here, since we have this perfect rejection right here around 2440, let's just say 41. Oops. Actually, it's about 40. Yeah, 40 flat. And I'm going to keep that then for the same reason as I talked about before. But this level right here at 2378, I am going to push this up because now that we're going down to lower time frames, we do have a lot more data, and we want to make sure that we can see that as clearly as possible. So this is looking good. And then I'm just going to make a slight adjustment here on this level, just bring this line down so that way it touches the support, and then also this nice rejection right here around 2320. So that's a nice psychological level as well. And then scrolling over to the left, I do see this support here, and then this really strong rejection, and we see price almost coming to that level. You could kind of say that there is a support level right in here as well, around 22, 94, 95. It's closer to 95, but level. And if you want to, you can drag that out, and you can see that price today, at least on this candle before the market closed for the week, close exactly at that level. So actually you do want to keep that just because it stopped right at that level perfectly. And I'm going to extend it out just a little bit more just because we don't know what's going to happen next week. Based on this really big move down, I do anticipate somewhat of a retracement, maybe here, but we'll talk more about my game plan very, very shortly. So This is looking good to me. So let's go down to the 2 hour time frame. All right, so this level that we drew up above, I'm just going to make this just a little bit thicker like that. I still like the placement of it. I still like the placement of this, the placement of this. And then this, now that we got a little bit more data, I don't know if I want to push it all the way down here. I actually want to keep it right where it was because we do see this bearish candle right here closing below this level. And then we also see in the next candle, this is on the H2 time frame where price completely reversed and made this really strong push up. So this essentially was a fake out right here. And I do want to keep my level where I have it currently at 2320 just to make make sure that when I go back to the chart that I see, oh, that was a fake out. So I definitely want to keep that. And then another thing that I could do, and you could do this on your charts as well, is just put a little circle there. And then one thing I do at times is mark this off. So let me go ahead and type fake out. All right, cool. Just so that way I can see that for later. And we may have to adjust it a little bit more on a lower time frame, but that is looking good. And then if we scroll all the way to the left, I still like that and that we have this exact same situation right here, but I'm not going to mark that off because that was in the past. That was over a month ago. So gonna leave that alone, still like that. Okay, cool. Let's go down to H1. All right, so let's drag it all the way over. And let's start from the top. Let's go all the way to the top. So right here, for the same reason, I'm actually going to place this level right at, what is that, 2443 kind of level. And this also was a fake out right here. You can put it up here as well. It really does not matter. So the zones just have to make sense to you. So we're going to keep that like that. We're going to keep this like that. That looks amazing. And then let's just scroll all the way over. Now that we're on the H1 time frame, we do have a lot more data to look at. That is lining up perfectly. I still like that. And then, you can see that the last candle before the market closed was a bullish candle. So there may be some sort of retracement or maybe gap up when the market opens again. You just never know. But it's just good to kind of think about what scenarios could play out, just so that way that helps you be able to determine your direction when you become more advanced, just to kind of guess and see what works out, and then understanding, well, why did that work out? So that's one thing. Okay, cool. Okay, this is all looking amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset the chart, and then let's talk about a game plan for this upcoming week. So I kind of already alluded to, I'm going to be looking for sells based on what we saw on the weekly, based on what we saw on the daily, and based on what we're seeing on this H1 time frame right now. All of this bearish momentum. So, like I said, we do have this candle right here that closed bullish. So, there could be some sort of retracement, maybe back up into this level. It could go up even further. With gold, you just kind of never really know, so you just have to plan for different scenarios. But, so what I am looking for is I'm looking for sales. So the key thing that I'm going to be looking for this week is basically price to maybe come back up into here and then come back down to here. So pretty much, let me set my alert right now. So what I'll be looking for is sales. So I'm going to put a note in here. This is typically what I do to make sure that I don't miss that many moves, because since I do work a full-time job and don't always have the opportunity to have access to my phone or even look at any kind of charts whatsoever, I do like to put in the alerts just so that way, in case it does occur at a time where I can see it, I could just open up some apps on my phone and then literally in 10 seconds be in the trade, set a stop loss and all of that good stuff. So, but anyway, so what I'm going to write here is I'm looking for test cells. I think I spelled that wrong. Yep, retest cells. Okay, cool. So that is what I'm looking for right there. Price could go up much further from this point. So let's just say it comes up to here, and it could sell off as well. So basically what I'm looking for is for price to come into this area and to give me some sort of candlestick confirmation or something like that. I do have a list of signals and things that I do look for when I'm looking to enter into the market, and I have pretty much this playbook And then I also do share some of those things with some of the students that I work with. So, well, pretty much all the students that I work with, not some, but all the students that I work with in this, in terms of analyzing the market and choosing your entry and exit points and stop losses. So, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come up here, give me some sort of signal, and then continue the trend for sells. But it's not just the automatic, I get up here and then I look for sells. Like I said, I have to see my signals. Same with up here. So let's just say that if price, you know what, actually, yeah, price could come up here and then reject as well. But what price could actually do as well is it could continue to push up and then it could break up above. See, I don't know why that little thing is in the way. Let me get that out the way. Okay, so price could push up and come above this level. And then what it could do, it could maybe consolidate a little bit. And then when price breaks above this level, then I would be looking for buys. But there has to be a lot of volume. Let me get rid of these old lines because now it's a little confusing. But there has to be a lot of volume inside of the market in order for me to be able to do that. Just because, like I said, when I look at my trading journal and I try to do bounce trades like I did earlier, that didn't work out. Thankfully, I was using a much, much, much lower risk, but it didn't work out. That, if it consolidates a bit and then break up in my trading journal, that actually does play out. When I'm just trying to do a straight bounce, that doesn't work a whole lot of times for me. Sometimes it does, but when it consolidates and then goes up, then that typically works for me. So anyway, so if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And then also, I give a ton of free game away on my Instagram channel or my Instagram page, where basically I'm giving you all kinds of tips. So why I only trade price action, mindset, different things to improve your entries. This is actually a really good one. So I'm looking to grow my Instagram. So if you love the content here, you're definitely going to really love the content on Instagram. So go ahead and check me out at Shark Confidence. Go ahead and hit that follow button. So I will see you next time.